Hey, Life Groups, I hope you're doing well. I hope if you're gathering together this week as a group, you're having a meaningful time together already so far. And if you've been tracking with our messages as a community, I hope you're enjoying getting back into the book of Acts together as we continue this journey kind of from now till summer, getting to the end of the book of Acts. And this week, we're looking at a story that is most of chapter 16 in the book of Acts, where the Apostle Paul is on what's known as his second missionary journey, where he goes to a place called Philippi, a Roman colony called Philippi, which is in modern day Greece. And it's a fairly long story, and maybe perhaps as a group, you might want to read it all through together. You could do that if you'd like, or you can obviously lean into the questions from our conversation starters. But really, there's three characters, three episodes we see in this story where three people encountered the faith and freedom that the good news of Jesus can bring. First, we encounter Lydia, who was a wealthy and independent businesswoman and who was a worshiper of God, who was seeking to know and experience God. But particularly when she heard about Jesus, she opened up her heart to Jesus, and it had her keep opening up her life and her home and her resources to sharing what Jesus was up to with others. And she was the first person to put her faith in Jesus in Greece, in Philippi. Then there's an episode about a young slave girl who was enslaved by an evil spirit and then even more so taken advantage of by men who were making money off of this spirit within her. And you see that she was wanting to experience who Jesus was as she was observing Paul and Silas, these missionaries in their city. And eventually Paul sets her free by setting her free from that spirit in the name of Jesus Christ. And she experiences the freedom and release. And then thirdly, there's a story of Paul and Silas kind of in reaction to that episode getting thrown into prison. And there's quite this event of an earthquake while they're in the prison cell overnight that has the jailer who is tending to them thinking that everyone's escaped. But sure enough, they're still there. And he comes to Paul and Silas and he says, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" That he sees something in them and he wants that saving as well. And he comes to know Jesus, and his whole family is baptized and comes to faith. And it describes the birth of the church in Philippi through these three episodes and these three citizens, these three characters. And so as you reflect on this together, you lean into the questions, maybe you read the story, I'd invite you to consider, how do you relate to any of these characters? Does God want to open your heart to Jesus more fully like Lydia? Or is Jesus looking to really set you free from something heavy you're experiencing, like the slave girl? Or like the local jailer, does Jesus want to bring an inner freedom even in the midst of circumstances that kind of felt like a dead-end situation? I hope you have a great conversation, and my prayer for you is that you can experience that freedom and you can encourage it in one another. And I encourage you this week to spend time praying for that in one another, and may Jesus do in and through us what only he can do. Have a great time.